Hello viewers, you're welcome to another decisive edition of the ISOKO Legacy Icons Series. I have with me here today a well-lettered man, Dr. Dan Ekere. He is with the Department of Philosophy, Faculty of Arts, University of Lagos, lecturer here, senior lecturer. And so it's a pleasure welcoming you to our program.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Okay. The focus of this program is really about ISOKO Nation trying to document for posterity those things that inspire us as a land and as a people. So, you are right here this Saturday of learning. I want you to tell us about yourself.
My name is Odugala. I'm from Enwe, ISOKO South, Delta State. Now, I was born in Enwe. Yes, I grew up in Enwe. My primary school was primary school. Secondary school, yes, I started in Warri. I had my year one there, moving back to Enwe from there to UCLA Grammar School, where I eventually completed my secondary school. Then University of Benin, where I started my university education. Then from there to University of Lagos for my PG. And eventually here I am, doing the same work, that those who taught me did and are still doing. Lecturing.
How was it growing up?
Growing up in ISOKO was actually a beautiful experience as far as I'm concerned. Yes, the area looks, as at then it was more remote, but then the lifestyle of the people is something that was, highly admirable. We grew up with core values that will keep the society together, and that is why ISOKO is a knit society. You'll find children growing with those values of respect, that dignity, that honesty, hard work and all of that. And then the ISOKO community is the type that you are only a child of a person where you are in the womb. The moment you are born, you become practically everybody's responsibility. That is why when you see a child who is veering off those values, you can discipline the child without necessarily seeing the parents first. But maybe after you discipline the child, you can, later when you find the parents, say, I saw your child who was doing this and this was what I did. And the parent will commend you. That is a life we were used to. A life of discipline, a life of respect, a life of hard work. Then, interestingly true, the ISOKO man seemed to be highly God-fearing. Highly God-fearing. That is not to say that there are no criminal elements, but yeah, when you find out that on the general note, the ISOKO man is highly God-fearing.
So now coming into the diaspora, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. How has the journey been?
It has not been easy, and nobody expects a journey of any great value to be easy. We went through school under very difficult conditions. I remember in the days of university, I was working and schooling. I spent half of the semester in Lagos. Then towards the middle of the semester, I would report in Benin where I had my degree. So it was that kind of thing. But the beautiful thing about that experience too was that the way I went about mine, I had a lot of input from people. Each time I'm on vacation, you see people asking me, when are you going back? Please see me before you go and all of that. It was a matter of how I related with people anyway. Yeah, it might not be for everybody, but I related with people in such a way that I was one boy that, you know, a lot of people really wanted to support, and I never let them down.
So what are some of these values, those core values that you can say engage yourself with, you learned from back home?
Yeah, principally that value of respect for yourself, elders, authorities, and even your younger ones is very critical. Respect is something that is not tied to a particular group of persons. That thing called respect is very high, so that you must show that respect to everybody, whether your juniors or your seniors, your elders and parents. Then hard work is very important. Hard work. Then discipline of a kind that talks about integrity is very critical. The ISOKO man is such that, you know, would want you to define your means of livelihood when you are showing any kind of whatever. They want to be sure what you are doing when you begin to spend. How did you come about? You don't just go to a typical ISOKO man and say, he's not aware of what you are doing, he doesn't know whether you are aware. The next thing you are bringing cars, and they will question, you know, your source. So I'm interested in my father is that type of a person. You can, you know, as an elder, sometimes they will share money in their various whatever. But when you come to him, you must answer those questions before he will receive it from you. You know? So we grew up with those values. That a good name is better than, you know, money and the rest of them. A good name was seen as wealth. It was seen as riches. Unlike these days where people respect money more than, you know, what we used to call good name. It does it to the extent that I even have a brother whose name is good name, Mamude. You know, so that tells you the kind of environment in which I grew up. It was an environment where your source of income, your source of livelihood must be clear to people that indeed you are earning whatever you have. You know, so those values have remained. That is why some of us find it difficult to get into so many of the things that people are doing now, and that making them, you know, flash money or throw money around. I don't have that kind of money, and in any case, I'm not going to look for that kind of money either. I need to, you know, I do my work and want to earn a decent living.
That kind of life also it matters.
So that's just the issue.
So what kind of advice do you have for our youth, especially those that are seeking greener pastures?
Well, really, seeking greener pastures, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, it's good to. It was greener pastures that brought me to Lagos. Yeah, but if it's about this, you know, quick fix, this rich quick syndrome, you know, being on the fast lane, that one I have a problem with, big problem with it. Then the issue of indecency, because in my time, seeing a lady's laps was as good as seeing everything she has, you know. But these days you see people, the only thing they cover is the nipple, you know, a lot of them, and they feel so good about it. They flash it out. You will find ladies who are pregnant that will just come up with only pants. No, I'm not saying these so-called ladies do that anyway, but I'm saying that generally that seems to be a trend. You find young ladies who are pregnant that want to show their tummy, show whatever, coming on in pants. You know, we're not used to that. So, yes, I want to advise that our young people, that thing that is hidden is usually more treasure. Gold is not on the surface, on the soil. Yeah, so when you hide what people want to make some efforts to see what is somewhere, and they will appreciate it. When it is so common, the value is a bit less, so people should be decent about that. Then, in terms of this make it quick, you make it quick and you die quick as well. You know, because these things go together. So many things go into this quick, you know, fix of a thing. And a lot of times, they cut short their lifespan. And just like the Bible said, what will it profit you to gain the whole and lose your soul? So that's a huge challenge. I advise that the youth should be slow and steady. That they will make it. In any case, how much do you really need to live a good life? How many houses do you need? How many rooms do you need in the house? Because I just discovered that as the children are growing, the house is gradually becoming empty in a way. Yeah, that's one problem I've just noticed. that even as little as the place is, to keep it tidy is now becoming a challenge. Everybody is rushing to want to do one thing or the other. And all the big apartments that we were actually hoping to get, I'm beginning to question so many things. Do you really need them? Because you just end up engaging domestic staff, practically just domestic staff and to take care of it, because there's a level you get to you will not be able to take care of all this. So people should be content with whatever they have. Life itself has its own way of relating with them. And until you understand those principles, you will just be on the offensive side of life. People should be very careful. They should be patient, they should be tolerant, they should equally be hardworking. That a livelihood will surely be.
But I must say, because I knew from way back, you didn't cut yourself away from the so-called community event right in Lagos. You're active in the community.
That is who I am. Exactly who I am, and ISOKO, I'm very proud of that. Wherever I go, I say it openly. I recall that a few years ago I was in South Africa for a conference, and I made it clear. In fact, it got to the point that those around the hotel I put on were calling me Igwe. Maybe they used to watch all those home videos. That's what I'm equally projecting as a scholar. That we need to be ourselves. It's part of the problem we have. We need to be ourselves. In terms of the education we get, I came to the realization, my father didn't do that much in school. He had a standard one, also a bit two or something. Okay? But I realized that even the things that Socrates and the rest of them discuss, the old man discusses the same thing too. It's just that we did not document those things. That's why we are studying people from outside. Otherwise, the same theories, the same thinking, the critical analysis of issues, they were doing the same. They look at the wonders of the world that philosophers put into, writing and the rest. They do the same. So I'm a proud ISOKO man. ISOKO men have, in fact, I recall that not too long ago I ran into somebody who was telling me that he would want to marry an ISOKO lady. I said, why? Why do you like ISOKO lady? He said because he knows that once an ISOKO lady is married, that's the last garage. He doesn't go looking for another. Yes, that he loves. He was saying it with such passion. I said, really? So you, okay. Then, unfortunately, I ran into a woman who said, I can't marry an ISOKO man because he will not allow me go elsewhere. I said, so your own is after marriage, you still want to live. He said, so you can see the way it goes. Truly, culture that defines your identity. That tells who you are. Not just, I can wear Yoruba, attire, I can wear any form of attire. But the values with which I've been raised and the cultural environment that has become part of me will surely, show forth. That's who I am. That's how you can define me. That the man is like this and like that. And I'm an ISOKO man to the core. A proud one at that. I'm not ready to manage words about it. I'm not ready to hide that fact. If that alone will make you not relate with me, so be it. But I appreciate people on the basis of that as well. I want to relate with you. This is who you are. So that's it. The ISOKO culture is a very good one. We have a lot of respect for our people. The men respect the women respect the men. They keep themselves. But then I think we equally need to brush up a little too, because the ISOKO culture or the traditions seem to, it's not too friendly on the part of the woman, really. Yes.
Just okay.
It's not really too friendly on the part of the woman. Just like people will say, okay, you can marry 2 wives, you can marry 3, and you don't want the woman to do anything. Not only that, you see that there's this family land we went to share sometime, some years ago, and my mother was there. I had to choose before my mother, the woman who gave birth to. Yeah, because the man, as far as the ISOKO environment is concerned, is senior. Irrespective of whether are you getting it? That I have to choose. So I was asking questions because I was still relatively younger. I was asked, why would I choose before my mother? And they said, as a matter of fact, they just reserved one small area for the women. The men have to, the remnant was what they have to take. Family land. And all of that. I don't feel good about it. I think that we're all humans. We should be able to show, a level of reciprocal, relationship. The woman is a human. Let's begin to treat them like the women that they are. The woman needs care, the woman needs love, the woman needs support, but sometimes this authority of, I'm the this, I'm the that, plays a lot, among the local folks. I mean, those are the traditional background. Where you find young people who are almost coming out of that. I've interacted with a lot of young people who now begin to see reason to actually, hold their wives like egg. And I think it's making some sense. They will really need to improve in that area. Yeah, the cultural aspect where the woman is seen like, you want to discuss family issues, she should be outside, as if she's not important. Today, it will shock you that if you put a man and a woman down to access on this, it's easier on the part of the women to penetrate circles than men. So why treat them as if they are second class citizens? They're actually not. And my understanding of the nature of the woman, based on, I'm a Christian, yes, my own, the way I see it might be different. The most important things God created last, and the woman is one. So you can't trivialize the woman. You can't put the woman at the background as if she doesn't matter. The woman is very important.
Great words. Thoughts I think we need to really look very, very objectively at that area. Now, viewers, we have with us a man whose actions are real. Talking about being a proud ISOKO man, Dr. Ekere is the current president of ISOKO Development Union, Socio-Cultural Association of the ISOKO people, right here in Lagos. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
He has served in the past as even the secretary right here in Lagos branch. Tell us how that aspect of your life experience has been, and then let you tell us about the forthcoming ISOKO celebrations.
Okay, thank you. Well, like I said, I'm a proud ISOKO man, so I cannot afford not to relate with my people, not to associate with my people. Getting to Lagos, I came across people who were equally showing the same passion. And interestingly, I find myself in their circle. One of such, inspiring character is of Elias of the Sword that I'm very close to. I worked with, and he encouraged me in that direction. Somebody who's equally very passionate about ISOKO activities. So I work with him, and from there, each time he is going to any of the meetings with my community, ISOKO and the rest of them, he used to encourage me to come along. Yes, whether you can paint shoes or not, it's not an issue. The important thing is that from the way you be related, it shows that you have something to offer God. So that is how we started. And along the line, from my community to the ISOKO level, I attended the IDU meeting one day, for the first day, sometime in 2003. I just said, let me go there as an observer. And that was how the community found me, worthy of service, and that she would come in and, serve in a particular capacity as a secretary. I said, well, but I'm not a delegate, because the delegates come from what else are you looking for? We are the ones you have to serve. We say we want you to do it. And I contested against somebody who has been well known in the place. And the victory was overwhelming. That was how I became assistant secretary. And by the next election, 3 years later, I became the secretary. So from then till for almost 10 years, we were just there from one level to the other, and we were moving about with the ISOKO project. I hear of other groups like the Ohanese, the Arewa, and the rest of them, and I feel strongly that the ISOKO people have what it takes to be at the same pace. Yet they might be larger in terms of the number of states and the rest of it. But it's not only about states, it's about the people. It's about projecting what you have. And it should every group of persons do the same. I'm very sure that here we will be able to find a common ground where we'll be able to relate harmoniously. So that is how I've been there. And after I served my tenure, I was out for some time, and just recently the people felt that, look, you can't be away, we need you, we need your services. That was how this one man came and said that they want me to be president. I said, Do you think I have what it takes to be president? Because I'm equally looking at people who are far. They say, which other far are you looking for? We need service. If it's about resources, you might not have all the resources. But those who have resources might not have all the time as well. They might not have everything. So your own, bring it to galvanize the resources and the people. And then it's going forward. That was why I came into this. And today I'm the president. And in the light of that, we want to showcase who we are. We've been doing that for quite some time now. From time to time, we do so organize the ISOKO Day celebration in Lagos. But lately, we have decided to make it a program of at least every tenure, and the tenure is 3 years. So within the 3 years of the tenure of any executive, there should be at least ISOKO Day celebration, during that period. So this time around, we have scheduled one for October 28th. And arrangements and preparations are in China. We are moving, reaching out to people, publicizing the event, going as far as even the ISOKO lab to invite people, come and witness what we are about to do here. Now, something actually, catapulted this idea. The catalyst, or what could be the factor that really made this one very interesting is that recently we established a body called CREDA. CREDA is a body of the entire South states. CREDA is an acronym. C for Cross River, R for Rivers, E for Edo, T for Delta, A for Akwa Ibom, and B for Bayelsa. Now, something brought about that idea. In Lagos, if you are not from Hausa, if you are not in Yoruba, the easiest description they give to you is Omoibo. They see you as an. And over time, the state has been treating us like, okay, they're Igbos. Meanwhile, we have core Igbos who have actually just been playing that road as if we are all Igbos. But we decided this time to say, okay, this regional block, we have different, nations, different ethnic nationalities. Let's assert our independence, or what we can call our unique identities, and that was how that body took off. Now, the ISOKOs equally want to show within that body that this is who we are, so that they will know who we are, what we represent.
It's like you have the PPO, the FP,
exactly.
The robos.
Yes, there are things that you can easily identify with some group of persons. And ISOKO has a very rich cultural heritage. But it seems as if a lot of people are not aware of so many of those things. Because I saw somewhere in a program where a particular drum was labeled the biggest drum in the world. And I look at the drum, it's not as big as the drum that we use for our festival in my community. It is because those who carry the information have not seen the one in my community. And they felt that one is the biggest. When you have not gone out of your father's compound, you think it's the largest. Until you see other places, you now know that, wow. So they are actually bigger places. So we want to show who we are to the world. Because like they do say, it is you who has whatever that is, disturbing you that will first raise the cry for others to join you. So we want to begin to project who we are. Let them identify us with who we are. And the cultural aspect of it is part of it. From there, the discussions and the rest that will take place, we equally show them how we conduct our marriages and the values we attach to it. Because for us, marriage is a lifetime thing. This idea of people marrying in the city room, by the time they get to the room, the marriage is over and all of that. That's not our world. That's not our way of life. So the food, today you find places where we no longer know who cooks. The man cooks in ISOKO, the men are very great cooks. I remember in those days when we go to farm, we will always wish that my father should do the cooking because his soup is something else, right? But that does not mean that he's the one who was always doing the cooking. But then he equally knows how to cook. So we must begin to show the whole world what we do with ourselves, how we respect ourselves, how we relate in the home and all that. We want to show it to the world so that when you want to describe us, you describe us appropriately by who we really are, by whatever we represent. Not just assuming that once you are not from Yoruba, you are not from Hausa, then you are from Igbo. That is part of it. Then there are some persons from ISOKO extraction who are outside, who do feel ashamed of, even introducing themselves as ISOKO. You meet some people in their offices, you greet them the Isoko way, they get angry, they get provoked. We want to show them that you can't be anything better than who you are as an Isoko man. That you must show that pride, that is who you are. When you see your person, you should be able to embrace the person. Why will you feel shy? Why will you feel, why the trepidation for being an Isoko man? Why? So these are the things we want to achieve. And apart from that, we will use the occasion to do some fundraising, because IDU in Lagos was about the first, branches to actually get on. Now, one thing that Isoko man is good at is good neighborliness. We're in Lagos. We want to continue in that good relationship that we have with our neighbors. Yes, and from there we will show that hospitality. And they will be able to see that indeed, Isoko people are peace loving. And I think that is one we cannot shy away. I mean, we cannot stop being peace loving. But that is not to say that government should continue to take us for granted as they are doing. Because from what is happening in the Niger Delta area, maybe simply because the Isoko people have not been very violent, there seems not to be that recognition that this is a group of people who are here. And they are making so much from Isoko land. Oil. We have several, in fact, Isoko is an oil producing area. Several oil producing communities. My own community is there. Uzere is there. Hempfield oil. Olomboro is there. Oil everywhere. And yet you don't find the impact. Lately there was this, gas piping of gas from, Isoko there. Yes. To even power electricity somewhere around there or all this by and the rest of them. Meanwhile, the place you are deriving this from is in darkness. So we are peace loving, but we wanted to realize that you don't just drive the willing horse to death. We must equally have something to show for it. That we are part of this state called Nigeria. We are not the children of we are not visitors. We are co-owners.
So we should be looking for some kind of
talk.
Or...
Yes. So there's going to be a public election that day too. And I think the conversation will continue from there. We should begin to interrogate so many of the issues and begin to engage the system in a civilized manner. For them to know that yes, there's a need for this to happen. So that we are not taken for granted. We are not taken for granted. I think the government need to wake up really, so that we don't begin to prioritize violence. Because from what we are seeing, it looks like the violence, just like in the past they used to say the patient dog is the fattest bone. These days, patient dogs are waiting and dying before the bone, even ordinary bone, get to them. We don't want to be there. We want to be part of a system that recognizes our value and relates with us the same way we want to relate with them. And I think that's just the way to go.
All right. So will there be, they say, appreciation is like asking for more?
Yeah, really.
Do you have any kind of commendation people who are very...
On that day, we are going to honor a few of our distinguished sons and daughters. Yeah, one is to appreciate whatever they have achieved and how it has, brought a good image for us. And as well to encourage those who don't see it as anything to begin to aspire. Now, you might be in your own world. There are things, today we talk about, people think that every Igbo man is greedy. Some will even tell you that, the jokes they used to make that if an Igbo man is dying and you bring money, and that says that he will wake up. It's not every Igbo man who is the way they describe them. It's not. See, but then, because so many of them are into businesses and some can actually go out of the normal, you begin to think that they are all like that. It's not true. The typical Igbo man is hardworking, is industrious. Yes, that's the way the Isoko man is too. Very hardworking, very industrious. But then those who don't see the need to do that, at the time they hear that people who do their own businesses and their own jobs and their own profession are being appreciated for what they have done, they want to do well. And those who have any plan of doing anything bad will change, because when you do something terrible and they get to know that you are an Isoko man, you will dent our image. So if you can do something that will dent our image, the same way we should associate with something that you have done that has promoted our image. And so we have listed a number of people, we have categories of awards. They will happen on that day. I don't want to jump the gun, otherwise we have prominent ISOKO people who have made it in different areas of endeavor. We want to recognize them on that day, so that people will be inspired, so that the coming generation will be able to look onto them as idols, as mentors, for them to aspire to do good things. Like I've always told people, it is only the good that people will identify with. If you are a criminal, nobody will introduce you as a brother or sister or whatever. But the moment you've arrived, you should equally know that success has several parents. It's only failure that's an offer. So don't say, oh, they were not there when I was rising, when I was up. That's the discussion for people who are not thinking. Were they all supposed to be there before? So now that you have arrived, we will come to you. Once we notice that you are an ISOKO man and you have made it anywhere, we want to associate with you. Yes, the same way we are, telling those who are coming behind that you need to wake up. But should there be any need for any form of support, we will not shy away from it either. Yeah, we will not. We are ready to encourage our own. And the more, the merrier.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It has been the discussion, great exposition from Dr. Ekere. Before we go, we want you to tell our people in ISOKO language, because we have a global audience. That is why we're communicating in English language. And moreover, this age of globalization, we have ISOKO all over the globe. We have other friends, neighbors who want them to be a part of this project, part of the conversation. But finally, where and when is ISOKO Day Celebration 2023?
Okay. Well, ISOKO Day, Celebration 2023 will be holding at the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos. There is this indoor sports hall, the basketball court, on the left the moment you enter to the main gate of the National Stadium, just at the entrance of the stadium. That building on the left, that's where it will be holding, and it will be on the 28th of October. And the time is 10 a.m. That's when it will be commencing. We are using the opportunity to invite the entire world, as many as could find time to be there. Please come. Come and be part of that success story. Come and be part of the cultural fiesta. It's going to be an event to reckon with. It's going to be an event that will showcase our culture, showcase who we are. And I'm very, very, very sure that whoever will come and identify with us will equally be proud to want to associate with his own people. So we're inviting people across board, not just the ISOKO people alone. We'll be extending invitation to as many as we can reach out to. The moment we begin to appreciate ourselves, I think we will do better. So the entire public is invited.
Okay, and I assure you, who is with ISOKO TV will be there.
Oh, it will be a great pleasure. We will appreciate it.
Look forward to the full coverage and
that will be beautiful.
Keep the conversation on.
That will be beautiful.
It's been a pleasure. But
I must tell you that this is one project that I find very interesting, really.
Thank you so much.
Because there are a lot of, we have people in places that we really don't have access to. We don't know who do so. So until something like this is done, that people, when you begin to see some person that they tell you this is an ISOKO person, you'll be wondering, really? And we've not really had any form, but that's the way it is. Like those who were born outside, who have lived all their lives outside, we need to equally relate with them. So it's a beautiful project. I'm just wondering whether you will get a kind of support that can actually carry it to a level that will be able to project the ISOKO people. And I'm encouraging the ISOKO people to actually come around and give you all the support that you need.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Finally, a word in ISOKO language about ISOKO Day.
Okay.
Or ISOKO.
Okay, ISOKO Wado.
Yeah.
ISOKO Wado.
Yeah.
Keme anu jojeva udo gbado rare evo edudegbere yo ape enu pe na bisi 2023 mati ISOKO Day Ebobo National Stadium, Surulere. Maybe we are not Bobby or Moisoko Bobby, where her invitation card came away or tea invite Amofa, what is it Amofa, one Moisoko, Tomote, Totari, Tide, Tomo, Momosai Bobby, Gaisoko, away of your stadium. What tell I want to my hotel, where jaw, or notice so Marino, Melmo Isoko, and where doing so. Merufonatano, Isoko Bobby. Where Mareho, where Yafi, if we're doing it. And then I must get a cap on a Bobby, Uruim Isoko, Ezra Isoko, Ever Isoko. Emo Mari Mabejo Copunaya, but if I'm in the Ruvo in it, no Wulo, you were Isoko. The Kuariere, Mado, or another boy Bobby.
My big war, Bravo now, Vitino. My hero were we are here. But to Dan Ekere, Noro or Kiriabara, Cookie Soko, or Rupra Ball, Eko, my owe, no Kuvenana, Manisoko Wado.